Welcome viewers to The Profile. This is Arif Malik, along with Syed Yousaf Raza Gilani, who is a former Prime Minister of Pakistan, the longest serving democratically elected Prime Minister who made history because he was unanimously elected by the related assembly as well. So welcome, Mr. Gilani.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Gilani, you visited the UK in regards to attend the Oxford University's famous Oxford Union, where you delivered a speech on the leadership. So, as a former Premier of Pakistan and one of the central leader of one of the most renowned and powerful party in Pakistan, what do you think? Are leaders made, or they one could become leader through hard work and efforts? Are they born like leaders, or are they made?
Actually, I believe in very hard work, and I think there is no shortcut. And I myself have been groomed at the grassroots level. I've been the member of the district council, then the chairman of the district council, then member of the provincial council, then federal council, then member of the National Assembly several times, and federal minister several times, then speaker of the National Assembly, and then finally the Prime Minister of Pakistan. Therefore, I think we have taken the correct path, and if we want to know the real issues of the people of Pakistan, then we should start from the grassroots level.
Sir, could you mention 3 leaders from Pakistan who, in fact, impacted your life and the course of your political career as well?
In fact, I can mention definitely I had worked with Benazir Bhutto, Shahid, for 22 years, and I was the vice chairman with her, and she was a great leader, and she was an internationally recognized leader, and she was well respected as a world leader, and I've learned much from her. And another leader which I'm impressed was my own maternal uncle, and he was a former Prime Minister of Bahawalpur State, and he was a great parliamentarian, and he was the leader of the opposition in Punjab Assembly, Makhdoomzada Hassan Mahmood. I've learned from him all the parliamentary practices. And another of my relative, he was Peer Pagado, and he was a great leader, and I also worked with him when my father died, and I was the member of the CEC, Central Working Committee of the United Muslim League. I worked with him, and Peer Pagado, Hassan Mahmood Saab, and my own party leader, Mohtarma Benazir Bhutto. She was a great leader.
Many thanks, Mr. Gilani. Like you are one of the rare breed of politicians who started your career from a county, then you rose up to become the Speaker of the National Assembly, and this approximately 3 decades long career. Then you became the unanimously elected Prime Minister, which is like right now the only Prime Minister up till now in Pakistan, and you also served as the longest serving democratically elected Prime Minister. So could you mention 1 or 2 challenges when in your premiership, which you in fact surfaced and you braved, and your leadership qualities helped to shut those challenges?
The great challenge of Pakistan was that after the dictatorial regimes, the parliamentary form of government was neither remain parliamentary form of government nor a presidential form of government. It was a great challenge, and it was my commitment with my leader, Benazir Bhutto, that when we come into power, we'll restore the original constitution of 1973. And during my tenure, I was lucky that unanimously we restored the 1973 constitution. It was a great achievement. And second achievement was that when I took over as the Premier of this country, there was a great problem in Swat and Malakand. And on the day when Benazir Bhutto, she was assassinated, she said, what do these terrorists want that there should be no flag of Pakistan in Swat. Therefore, that was a great challenge, and I motivated people, and I also organized all parties conference, and unanimously from the parliament got it approval, and then we supported the military action in Swat and Malakand, and there no war can we win without the support of the masses. Therefore, we supported the military, and they laid huge sacrifices. We as Pakistani not only paid in the form of casualties alone, but also in the form of economy. And I think that's again a history, the world history, that in less than 90 days, the 2.5 million internally displaced persons were sent back to their homes in 90 days. And that is unprecedented in the world, because when Soviet Union invaded Kabul, there were more than 3.5 million refugees, and 3 decades have been passed, and are still in Pakistan. They are married in Pakistan, they have businesses in Pakistan, they have educated in Pakistan, and the world, they even don't remember them. And Pakistan is paying a huge price for that. And therefore, that was my great achievement when we controlled this situation of Swat and Malakand.
So, Mr. Gilani, what do you reckon your biggest achievement as a Premier of Pakistan?
I think the biggest achievement, what I personally feel, is the Constitution was given by Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, and it was a great honor during my premiership. We restored the Constitution of 1973 in original form.
True. These days in Pakistan, there's a lot of hype about the youth taking lead and becoming the steering force of the country. Particularly Imran Khan and other leaders are pushing it. The recent rally, People's Party's rally in Karachi, this was mentioned by Aitizaz Hassan while you were present on the stage as well, that now the party elders should be advising and the youth should come forward. So as the premier of the country and one of the oldest leader inside the party and the most effective as well, how do you look at the rise of the youth inside the PPP and the country?
Pakistan is the only country where the population of youth is more than 60%. Therefore, we are in safe hands, because that's the only country where there is no liability. That's the youth, and they are educated, they're young, they are energetic, they wanted to achieve things in life, and we fully support the idea, and even we supported the idea of the voters' qualification should be 18 years. They can also vote for the National Assembly or the Provincial Assembly. Therefore, what we are discussing about youth of today, they are the future of Pakistan, and the leaders in the country, they are over 60 now. And as you have mentioned, the rally of Karachi, it was led by Bilawal Bhutto, and he is hardly 27 years old, and I think he is the chairperson of the biggest political party of the country. And when we talk about youth, we also talk about his leadership as the People's Party chairman of the party. Therefore, I think he has the opportunity that the age is in his favor, that in future he can lead and motivate the youth in the country.
Mr. Gilani, you are in the UK, and wherever you go, the overseas Pakistanis, they really feel pleasure meeting you and receiving you. The 8 million overseas Pakistanis, they are a big force in terms of their contribution to the country. However, at the same time, it's the feeling that they're not being recognized inside the country for their contributions. So how do you feel, because you have done a lot as a premier for overseas Pakistanis, and what further may be done, how the overseas Pakistanis may be led to the favor of Pakistan?
There are about 1.2 million Pakistanis who are in UK, and 80,000 they are Pakistani Britishers who are in Pakistan, and there are more than 7 members of the of the House of Lords, and 7 members of the House of Commons, and 3 members of the European Parliament, and over 300 mayors and the councillors in this country. We have a lot of stakes in this country.
True.
And they are really contributing for the economy of both the countries, and they are sending a lot of remittances to Pakistan, and they are ambassadors, and they are doing extremely well, and we wish them well. And the educated youth can play an important role while they come back to Pakistan and serve the country. And I think you're mistaken that we don't recognize them. We respect them, we recognize them, and we will do whatever possible for us as my party to support them.
Thank you, sir. World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis is advocating that the overseas Pakistanis could be given proportionate representation inside the parliament. Do you think this is an idea which could be realized?
I think we have no objection for that, provided if there is any amendment in the constitution, it has to be debated, deliberated, and it can be discussed. And I think that this is a good idea that can be discussed in our own party too.
What would you like to advise to the government in place, which is going through kind of tough and rough phase for the last couple of months? So, because you were unanimously elected, at the same time, most of the political parties supported you. So, what would you advise the new government in place so that they can steer
the only
the way
institution which is of the people of Pakistan, of 180 million people of Pakistan, is the parliament. Therefore, if we make the parliament strong and forget about the other issues, I think when we make parliament strong and we debate on the floor of the house, as I used to attend the parliament regularly, and at the same time all major policy issues were debated on the floor of the house, and even I used to answer the questions of the ministers. I made the parliament relevant, and therefore we completed 5 years of term. And I think if there are 2 or 3 parliaments, the tenure is completed, there would be more stability in Pakistan, because I always believe that political stability leads to economic stability. And I only advise the present Prime Minister, Mr. Nawaz Sharif, that he should focus on Parliament, and all the issues and legislation which is pro-people should be discussed, and there should be legislation so that the people should feel that their institution is playing the role for them. And if we ignore the Parliament, then other institutions will become strong, and you will always be under fear and threat. And I think that's the forum where the legislation should be done and strengthen the Parliament and the people of Pakistan.
Mr. Gilani, at University of Oxford, you mentioned Winston Churchill as one of your favorite leaders. Would you like to comment what quality of Churchill really appeals you?
In fact, there are a lot of controversies about Mr. Churchill, but I admire him because of his great qualities. He was a general, he was a politician, he was a prime minister, he was a wartime prime minister, and in a peacetime he was rejected. People didn't accept him because they accepted him when there was a wartime, but they did not accept him when there was a peacetime.
True.
But I always admire him of his patience and parliamentary practices, his humor, and his dedication towards the people of his country. And his one saying which I always follow and which made me successful is that one should be firm without being rough. That's the policy which I've opted, and that made me successful.
Thank you, sir. It's been a pleasure
Thank
being
you
here
so
with
much.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.